Jungle temples have always been my favorite naturally generating structure in Minecraft, so after a year of not really building anything here on YouTube, I decided to return with a transformation of one. For this transformation, I decided to start out by doing some World Painter terrain. My main goal for this was just to make an island that I could add my own mountains into the middle later on, where we can actually put the temple itself. With the main terrain done, I decided to start on some actual structures. So for this temple, I wanted to have kind of a staircase that would lead up, kind of twist around almost, up to a bridge that would lead to the temple itself. So that's what I started on here. You'll notice I make these statue head looking things that I actually really like. They could have definitely turned out a little bit better, but I think they're good for the scale. And halfway through building this part, I decided that I wanted to add some more terrain of my own just to give it a little bit of an extra, I guess, taste to it. So starting with some large diamond cubes, I use that to get a base shape that I can use GoBrush on, which is a really cool plugin. It has height maps in a brush, pretty much is how it works. And so I go over the top of the diamond blocks and make it look a little bit more natural. Also, I add a pretty big platform where we're actually going to put the temple itself. And of course, I color it to match the other terrain. So then I continue on the kind of path that leads up to the temple itself. I add some archways that will lead to a bridge that will actually connect to the temple. I do try to add as many faces or designs into the walls as possible just to break it up and make it look a little bit more unique. Notice on all the bridges and stuff, I do also add some kind of aqueducts coming off the side of them, which I think really looks cool. It makes it look a little bit more natural, and I follow this kind of theme all the way around the temple too. We then start in the actual temple itself. I copy the staircase I used that led up to the bridge just because I wanted to keep it the same width, and this made it way easier to, instead of building the whole staircase out itself, because it is absolutely massive. I make the bigger steps that kind of connect the corners. It was really satisfying to make this part actually. I don't know why, it just hit different. So from there we can then go into the sides of the temples and add some more details, continuing with the kind of statue, kind of face designs on the walls. I do also add a snake on one of these, which I think looks really cool. It adds a bit of variation and character to the temple, which I really like. You'll probably also notice the waterfall kind of aqueducts coming off the temple itself too, which I really like. We do also add a platform going around the whole thing just to connect the staircases up a little bit better because it's looking a little bit off. The base part of the temple done, we can go to the top and make this kind of, I don't really know what this creature is, but it looks really cool. It's kind of the one that I built on the bottom part yet again, just in a real larger scale, which is the entrance into the temple itself. I decided to use white blocks on it just to break it up from the rest of the temple. I do grading it down from it as well. I do also decide to add some kind of torches on the temple itself. I make a couple different sizes depending on where they're at on the temple. Do also add some kind of smaller temples right out front of it. Then we move on to the trees, and this was quite the process. It took quite a while to paste them in. Making them was actually, it didn't take that long, but pasting them in and putting them in different rotations, it was a little bit tricky with 1.16 because I don't have all the commands I normally do. I do also decide to add some sort of ruins in the back here. They're right behind the temple pretty much. You gotta go a little bit of a ways away. But I pretty much just used the world edit pyramid command and rotated it at an angle and pasted it in. Then I do build somewhat of an interior. Interiors aren't necessarily my thing, but I definitely think it needed one for this. I didn't go too big. I was getting a little impatient here, not gonna lie. But I still think the end result turned out pretty cool. It's kind of a crypt, yeah, I guess it's a crypt. With some treasures hiding inside. And to finish it off, I do add some vines coming across from some of the mountains, and we have completed the temple. I hope you enjoy the cinematics. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I'm glad to be back, and I'll hopefully have some more videos coming out shortly. And if you're new here, be sure to follow me on all my socials. They're all linked in the description below, and we will see you next time. Later.